Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to learn how to cut a nurse uniform. So this will be a straight gown. It will not have joining at the waist. So first of all, we'll start by measuring the full length. The full length for this gown is 42 inches. Then I'll be adding 2 inches for hemming allowance. So here I'm marking the 42 inches plus 2 inches for hemming, after which we'll now move over to the shoulder. The shoulder is 15 inches divided by 2, that will give us 7.5 inches, and then the armhole round is 8 inches. After marking out the shoulder, we'll mark out the armhole line, which is 8 inches, and then the bust line, the bust point, then the half length. The half length for this gown is 15 inches. So here we'll be marking out half length, and then we'll be marking the hip length. We'll be making use of 24 inches for the hip length. So here I'm marking out 24 inches for the hip length. We've initially marked out the full length, so I will not be marking it out again. So I'll be marking out the round bust. Okay, I started with the round waist measurement. The round waist measurement divided by 4. Then I'll be adding 2 inches for the joining allowance. You can decide to add 1.5 inches or 1 inches for the joining, depending on your choice. So after the round waist, I'll be marking out the bust round, which is whatever that is the bust round divided by 4 plus 2 inches like we added at the waist for the joining. Here I'm connecting the armhole length. So I'll be using 1.5 inches for the armhole curve. That's what I'm doing here. So after that, I'll be imputing the round hip measurement, which is also the round hip. The round hip for this is 36. So I'll be dividing 36 by 4 plus 2 inches for the joining allowance like we did, and then I'll roll it all the way down to the full length. For the neckline, we'll be making use of, because this gown will have some kind of collar, so I will be making use of 3 inches by 1 inches. You can decide to make use of any neckline that you want, depending on the particular style you're sewing. So for this, I'll be making use of 3 inches by 1 inches, and then I'll be marking out half inches for the shoulder slant, and then I will divide the armhole length by 2, and then come in by half inches for the curve, because I want it to be a curvy. So for the dart, I'll be making use of 4 inches for the dart. I'll be making use of a waist dart for this gown at the back, while at the front I'll be making use of princess dart for it. So I'll be making use of 9 inches for the dart, that is 4 inches up and then 5 inches down, and then I'll connect. Remember that we marked out 1 inches for that. So I'll make use of 1 inches for that, half inches at both sides, and that will be all for the back side. You have to cut the back side first because the zip will be at the front. So it is at the front that will be adding 1 inches for the zip allowance. So we'll now cut the back and then go over to the front part. So having cut out the back, we'll now be marking out 1 inches for the zip. Remember I said that the gown will be having zip at the front. So here, making sure that there is 1 inches for the zip allowance. Because the material is kind of slippy, I'll be using this my power bank to hold it. So after holding it in place, I will now cut the front. You see the way I place the back on the material to cut the front. So I'll now cut it, and then I'll cut the neckline. For the front neckline, I'll be making use of 3 inches by 2.5 inches. So here I'm making sure that I trace out the lines, the armhole length, the bust point line, all the necessary lines that we marked out at the back. I'm making sure that I trace it out so that I'll be able to know what I'm dealing with. So like I said before, I'll be making use of 1.5 inches neck depth and then 3 inches neck width for the front, unlike the back that we made use of 3 inches by 1 inches. So here I'm tracing out the necessary lines, that is the hip length, the waist, and all those things. So like I said before, the front we have a princess dart. So I've marked out the bust span. I'll remember that we added 1 inches for the zip, so I'll be making use of 5 inches for the darts because of the 1 inches that we marked out for the zip. Then I will divide the armhole length into 2 and then connect it to the dart. And after this, we'll now cut the gown open, and that will be all for the front part. So here I'm done with the front. I've cut the dart open. The reason why we open the dart is because we'll be fixing the pocket inside the pocket. So for the sleeve, we'll make use of 8 inches for the armhole length. That means we'll still be making use of the same 8 inches. Then we'll be adding extra 1.5 inches for the joining. While for the length, we'll be adding 2 inches for the aiming. The full length is 7 inches. Then we'll be adding extra 2 inches because we'll be aiming the mouth of the sleeve. So that's what I'm doing here. And after which we'll now cut and move over to the pocket to cut out the pocket. So that will be all for the sleeve. So for the pocket, we'll be making use of total of 10 inches plus half inches for the joining for the pocket length. We also added extra 2 inches. The length of the pocket should be 7 inches. Sorry, the length of the pocket should be 8 inches. We added extra 2 inches to make it 10 because we'll also be aiming the mouth of this pocket. So that's the reason why we made it 10 inches. And then we added half inches for the joining. Remember that I said that the pocket will be inseam pocket. We'll be adding the pocket inside the dart that we cut out. So that is what I meant by the pocket being inseam. So thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. This video will be of 2 parts. This is the part 1. I'll be dropping the part 2, which is about the joining.